As part of our discussion of supply and demand, we are now going to combine them to determine price. Demand is a negative relationship between price and quantity, but it doesn't tell us at which price will prevail in the market. And supply is a positive relationship between price and quantity supplied, but it doesn't tell us which price actually prevails in the market. Supply and demand together will determine price. There will only be one price at which the quantity demanded and quantity supplied will be equal. This is known as equilibrium, the market clearing price. If the price is too high, there will be a surplus. Too many goods will be produced in the market. The higher price will induce producers to produce more, and it will discourage buyers from buying as much. There will be excess leftover inventories, leftovers, and that will provide the incentive for businesses to cut back and eliminate the surplus. But at price too low, buyers will be encouraged to increase the quantity demanded. But the low price will discourage sellers from producing as many as they did at equilibrium. That'll create a shortage. There won't be enough to go around. And as a result, businesses will start to produce more and charge higher prices until, again, the shortage is eliminated. At equilibrium, there's no surplus or shortage, so there's no reason for the price to change. So let's take supply and demand. Let's put supply and demand on the same graph. Demand is a negative relationship between price and quantity. At a high price, there'll be very little quantity demanded, and at a low price, there'll be a higher amount of quantity demanded. But we don't know what price will prevail. Similarly, for supply, at a low price, there'll be a low quantity supplied, and at a high price, there'll be a high quantity supplied, a positive relationship between price and quantity. This is the equilibrium price, P sub E, and this will be the equilibrium quantity, Q sub E. There's neither a surplus nor a shortage at this point, and the market is at rest. Equilibrium, market clearing price, is the quantity supplied equals quantity demanded. But if the price is too high, then what you do is you do the dotted lines until you hit both supply and demand curves. Stop at that point. Don't continue dotted lines out. Drop down until you hit the quantity axis, and this will be quantity supplied. Come down, and this will be quantity demanded. Quantity supplied is exceeding quantity demanded, and that gives us a surplus. If this quantity demand, or originally, if the equilibrium quantity was 100, perhaps now the quantity supplied will be 120, and the quantity demanded will be 80. That would give us a surplus of quantity supplied minus quantity demanded, 120 minus 80. That would give us a surplus of 40. 40 too much would be produced. Now, what's going to happen? Business inventories will grow. Unsold inventory is expensive. Businesses will try to induce the sale of the product by lowering their price. In response to lowering prices, the reward of producing it isn't as great, so they'll also produce less quantity. In response to the lower prices, demand being a negative relationship between price and quantity, consumers will increase the quantity demanded until again they achieve an equilibrium where the quantity demanded is 100 and the quantity supplied is 100. If, however, the situation is reversed and the price is below equilibrium, supply and demand, price and quantity, quantity equilibrium, quantity price equilibrium, in this situation, we have 100, and there's no surplus or shortage. But now, if the price is too low, you go over until you hit the supply and demand lines, stop at the last one you hit, go down, and now this becomes quantity demanded, and this becomes quantity supplied. And using similar numbers, if this is 120 and this is 80, now our quantity demanded exceeds our quantity supplied. We subtract the quantity supplied from the quantity demanded. 100 quantity demanded minus our quantity supplied of 80, and that will give us a shortage. That will give us a shortage of 40. There won't be enough to go around. Okay. Now, this lower price has induced more people to buy the product, but discouraged business from producing more. So in response to the shortage, businesses will produce more at a higher price. And consumers, in response to the higher price, will reduce the quantity demanded from 120 back to 100, where there is no surplus or shortage. So this is the self-regulating mechanism of the capitalist system. Each person is just run into their own selfish best interests. And the reason that a price may be too high or too low is businesses don't come with instructions. Who knows how much to charge? So business will have to take a guess and then work to equilibrium. And situations often change, causing equilibrium price and quantity to flux in the market. Our next topic will, so let's see, our notes here are here. This idea of equilibrium and its adjustment from a disequilibrium has price serving a rationing function. You may think you may not like prices, but if it weren't for prices, people who came before you would have taken all of the goods, and there'd be none waiting for you. The rationing function of price prevents lower value users from taking any quantity away. And so price serves to award products to those who are willing and able to pay for them at the prevailing price. Price serves to clear the market, leaving no surplus or shortage. And these decisions are freely made by individuals, both the producers and the consumer. Our next topic will be to discuss price ceilings and floors when the market is prevented from going to equilibrium by the government, perhaps for reasons of social justice.